Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 million by 1 million strategy roundtable for entrepreneurs. 1M by 1M, as you know, is the first and only global virtual accelerator in the world. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue. And in support of that mission, we do these free mentoring sessions week after week after week. This is the 544th 1M by 1M roundtable. I can't even imagine how we've done this for this long. It started back in the fall of 2008 with an experiment with online mentoring, which clearly was successful. And then, since then, I think we have had over a couple 100,000 people participate in these sessions, and we've literally had the opportunity to work with entrepreneurs from all around the world. So very often when you show up at these roundtables, you see entrepreneurs coming to pitch from around the world. Normally, we also have a guest. Today is, this is a holiday weekend. It's the end of the summer holiday weekend in the United States. So we do not have a guest, and we'll have a shorter roundtable than usual. But next week, we resume again with a longer roundtable with guests and more pitches and everything. But we will still touch base with you this week. The event is being recorded. Every single roundtable recording is available on our 1M1M Roundtables YouTube channel. So you can go take a look if you have time, and if you're looking for learning material, this is good learning material. You basically get to listen to guest discussions on various entrepreneurship relevant topics. And also, what is very interesting in these sessions is, kind of in a spirit of constructive, whether you call it mentoring, coaching, strategy consulting, constructive critiquing of a pitch, of a venture pitch. You could even say it's a role play at some level. This is kind of the hole poking you would experience if you go in front of a venture capitalist. So that's the spirit of these entrepreneurship pitches, entrepreneur pitches at the sessions here. You can meet us on Twitter at 1M by 1M and at Stromana. And today's hashtag is 1M1M. These are the call-in instructions. We absolutely want you to participate as much as you would like to. This is a roundtable, not a broadcast. So we want to hear from you. We want to know what you are doing, what projects you're working on, where are you dialing from. I see Amar wishing us a good morning there. Amar, you are not in a good morning time zone, right? You're probably somewhere else in the world. I'm guessing India. So good evening to you. And today we'll hear from Claudia. Claudia, do you say Claudia or Claudia?
Claudia.
Claudia. You are in United Kingdom. So we'll, as usual, we're going to touch base with people in different time zones. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good middle of the night if you're somewhere in Asia. And we just want to set some expectation. We do not have a guest today, as I said. We're going to go straight into the entrepreneur pitches. So let me set some expectations for those of you who are going to pitch either today or in an upcoming session. This is a safe working session. We're going to strategize on your venture. So you don't need to be defensive. You don't need to be worried about making a mistake. We are here to collaborate and give you feedback on how you can improve your pitch, your strategy, your venture, how you can accelerate. So there is no need to be defensive at all. You don't need to be nervous. You can disagree. Of course you can disagree. That's okay. It's your venture. You are going to decide on the final strategy of what you're going to do. My job is to give you honest, direct feedback. I'm not going to sugarcoat my feedback. I'm not going to give you a pat on the back. if you deserve a pat on the back, yeah, I'll give you a pat on the back. But that's not why we're here. We're here to figure out how you can move forward, what you can do to accelerate your journey. So let's get going. We're going to start with Claudia Giannoni in London. Claudia, welcome to the show, and let's get started.
Hello. Hi. Thank you for having me, by the way, and thank you for the help that 1Mby1M gives to entrepreneurs. So we really appreciate this. So I am the CEO of Relai. Relai is an intelligent real estate marketplace for property, for buyers and sellers who wants basically to buy and sell and renovate their properties. Relai, it's a market, basically marketplace.
I want to tell you one thing. I really like the name of the company. That's a very Italian sounding name and it sounds beautiful.
Great. Good. At least the name is fine.
It's very nice. Yeah. Okay. Carry on, please.
So basically, we know that amongst across many countries, buying and selling properties and renovating properties can be a very painful and opaque, fragmenting process. There are hidden costs, there is delays, people don't know how to manage the process, so it can be very painful. In the UK, it's as stressful as having a divorce, a child, or a marriage. So there are documents from the government that basically ask for a digital solution to solve this problem, because transaction fails, and this means a lot of money wasted. Starting from this and based on the experience that also I mean, I've been in real estate for many years, over 2 decades now, across different countries. So with my co-founder, we decided to try to give it a go and give a solution to solve this problem. So Relai is a marketplace for property buyer and seller and renovators who wants to buy, sell, and renovate their properties. In the marketplace, they find all the real estate professionals they need to complete the transaction when they buy and sell, or to do the renovation when they want to renovate their properties. At the same time, Relai offers a workflow tool. What is it? It's basically a workflow tool which allows people to understand the process, get familiar with the process. The process is studied, divided into phases, and all documents and chat are uploaded to the platform. So people can give tasks to each other, professionals talk to each other. The buyer, seller, or renovator can take actions to avoid undue delays and to resolve bottlenecks. Because at the moment, basically, whenever you have a problem, you don't know who you can call, and especially in the UK, I have to say, it's extremely opaque. So you don't even have access to how, who you need to call and how to get information. This is how Relai works. It's a marketplace and a workflow tool. So based on this, we have customers and users. Who are our users? Our users are everyone who wants to buy and sell or renovate a house. And it's free for these users. The customers are our professionals, are all the surveyors, conveyancers, architects, engineers, everyone who is a professional in real estate. And their services are required to buy, sell, or to renovate a house. I am one of them because I've done this work for many years. And I know how much business you can get if you get basically in touch with a high number of customers who want to buy, sell, or renovate. I've done this for years for Monte dei Paschi banks. I've done this in the UK. So we think that in this business model, we have advantages for the users and the professionals. This is why we think it works. On one side, the users get a free tool to manage the process, to shorten the process, shorten it up, to make it faster and cheaper. From my calculation, should be faster and cheaper by 60% at least. This calculation is based on the UK government report. So we basically checked what we can offer, what we basically can improve, and more or less we achieve a 60% improvement on the current process. So it's a big advantage for free for users. We can also get better deal in the platform because I mean, the competition among competitors, the professionals, of course, they get them, in a certain way, they can get a better deal because there is more competition. And obviously, the professionals try to get more customers. On the other side, professional gets higher business volume. They can market themselves, and by paying a small subscription fee and a kind of a fee based on business volume that whenever the business grows, they can basically have access to an entire panel of users, which basically are based in their countries whenever they want. They also get perks and discounts for CPDs training. As a professional, we have an obligation to perform training and CPDs regularly. They come to a cost. So the platform, because we basically, of course, we onboard, at least we aim to onboard many professionals, will offer discounts based on the number, of course, of professionals who are joining the platform. So give us strength to negotiate for CPDs, training, and perks, and so on. So for both users and customers, also, it's a trustworthy environment. So another problem that you have when you buy, sell, or find the professionals, very often you are a bit, you are uncertain who you are dealing with and if you can trust the other party. So all professionals go through due diligence that we do, and we do manually and automatically, depending on, of course, on the investments as well. At the moment, we do it manually. So we go through all the qualification they have, history, portfolio, and everything is relevant before they get onboarded on Relai. On the other side, to avoid the professional waste time for people who are not even real, let's say, we go through identity check for all users. So people who join the platform, they work in a trustworthy environment, so they know they can start, let's say, reducing risk in a safer environment. They also get, obviously, thanks to technology, they get a better user experience and a better interface, because everything happens in the platform. You can upload documents, download the chat. The management is much easier. At the moment, the management of buying and selling and renovating, it's all offline. You really struggle to connect, to collect the information, collect documents, and everything in place. So this is a big advantage.
Claudia, I have a question, actually. We are working on a company right now in the premium program of 1Mby1M. That is a real estate property tech company that has identified a need in the industry, which is basically because of COVID, the whole process of showing a property has become a problem.
Yeah.
So they have really unique technology to be able to kind of view a property together, do a guided visit or virtual reality visit.
Yeah.
Is that part of what you're thinking about, or is that an addition?
We could work, for example, with someone like that. We could work together with. We don't do listing, and we don't do the service at the moment for the, let's say, we don't showcase the properties. Our Relai starts when the offer is accepted to completion, which is at the moment it's the process in the real estate basically market, which has not been disrupted yet.
Okay. So you are in the documentation workflow, not in the sales or marketing workflow.
Yeah,
transaction documentation workflow. Got it. Okay. Yep. All right. Clear.
Yeah. From one, basically, when you choose your house and you say, okay, I want this, and until you get the keys, basically.
But you are also working with architects, and you're working with, or you want to work with architects, you want to work with other kinds of, construction professionals, etc. Yes?
Yeah, definitely. They're all in the panels, because when you renovate a property, you need architects, you need an engineer, you need different, let's say, professional. But generally, to be honest, even when you buy and sell, it's very good to have a report, to have at least an idea from an engineer if the house has some problems. So you might want some professional when you buy and sell as well. And in my profession, I always seen that, when you have a report from someone who you can trust, you proceed a bit more with peace of mind, let's say. So professionals are, in any case, are a good resource for buyers, sellers, and renovators.
Okay. All right. So now tell me another thing, and I don't know if you may have this already later on in your presentation, but so the way you are bringing the professionals into your system, are they paying to subscribe to this solution?
Yeah, they pay a subscription fee. They pay let's say a minimal fee on transaction when they get a higher business volume, not at the beginning. And also they can, if they want to be featured. Let's say I am a professional, I want to market myself in a certain way. So I pay an additional fee to be featured, let's say a bit in Google, like at the top or something like this.
Got it. And how many of these professionals are currently on your marketplace?
Well, at the moment, we just achieved a very, something which is very important to us. We have been accepted as a RICS tax partner. I don't know if you know what RICS is. RICS is a professional body. It's everywhere in the world. I am part of it. It's basically the Royal Chartered Surveyors. So working with them, we achieved to be basically official partner, and I can use their logo on my platform. This means that when I go to professionals and I ask them to join, they know that they joined something which has been accepted and approved by RICS. So this will help us incredibly to obviously onboard professionals and to allow them to trust our platform.
Yeah.
We are always working obviously with RIBA, RICS. I mean, I am, as a professional, I am qualified in RICS, RIBA, ARB. So I'm working with and talking to all these professional bodies to understand what they need and what they want to join. So this is also the way Relai is built. It's also following their advice while we were building the platform, because I have, of course, I am a professional. I have informal conversation and formal conversation with many of them. So most of the changes in the platform and the adaptation have been done following their advice. So I'm building the platform, not.
But right now, do you have any subscribers to the platform? Do you have any transactions on the platform, or is it still pre?
No, because the platform is not finished yet. Until we finish, we cannot start, because also the testing needs to happen in 2 phases. The first phase needs to be a very restricted panel of professionals. And I need also to follow the recommendation of the financial advisory board, because especially when we introduce clients, customers to financial advisors that should be in the platform, we need to follow a very strict regulation. So before I start onboarding, I need to have in place the platform completely finished. That should be finished by the end of this month. And then the policy, which basically in our team, we have a wonderful solicitor who is really willing to working with us, so he's doing the policy for us.
How long would it take you to get, some number of professionals and some number of, something that is statistically significant to be able to call validation? How long will it take you to get some of these people on board?
Okay, I think going through RICS, and because I'm having all these meetings and I'm in touch, you see, with the estate agents that I have here in Toronto and in Washington, they are estate agents who I'm working with directly. So they are willing to join the platform as long as it's finished. So I would say that in 5 months or something like this, we should be able to have a significant number of professionals inside.
And how much are you charging them to join, the subscription fee?
At the moment, to make them join, I think we cannot charge. So we need to find, this is why now I think it's time for us to go for investors, because at the moment we have bootstrapped the company, so we have put our own money and our own time. And we have achieved.
I understand where you're going, Claudia, which is why I'm asking you these questions, because to get to investment for a marketplace venture, you kind of need to start showing that a minimum viable product of the marketplace is in place and you have some number of people already coming on and using the marketplace. Okay. So if you think that you can get investors before you make that happen, I think that is a flawed assumption.
Okay.
So we need to figure out how you can rapidly, the thing is, in early stage ventures, customers come on board on vision. If you give them a strong enough vision, the early adopter customers come on board on vision. So if you have customers whom you know you can bring on board to raise money, this is going to be absolutely essential.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll tell you what I really like about your company.
Yeah.
There is a trend in the marketplace right now, which is SaaS-enabled marketplaces. And you are squarely in the middle of that trend, which is you have a subscription software that you can get a set of professionals to pay for. So these are professionals for whom you're providing a business value through a piece of software that they would be subscribing to. And in that process, they would be bringing their customers onto your platform to use that software. So your marketplace has an organic capability to build up by building one side of the business as a subscription. Two-sided marketplaces always have the problem of chicken and egg.
Yeah.
And the companies that follow this SaaS-enabled marketplace strategy of having a relatively complex workflow software that facilitates the functioning of a class of marketplace participants who will bring their customers onto the platform to use that software do well, especially in the seeding stage of the marketplaces. So in that sense, I really like your strategy very much. And you have domain knowledge in this, so you will get a lot of credit from investors on that. So these are two big check marks in your favor. The thing that is not in your favor is that you still have another 6 months or more to bring a critical mass of these professionals onto the platform to start using it, start paying for it.
Yeah.
If you can accelerate that piece, and maybe you don't have all the features, so what? But if there's, if there are people who would be willing to come on board and start using the product and giving you feedback on the product and maybe for a discount, whatever, but customers start engaging with your product and validate that you are providing a piece of software that this class of professionals are willing to subscribe to and bring their customers onto, that is the validation that investors would look for.
Okay.
So that's the number one thing that you should focus on. And then, things like Zoopla, for instance. My husband is on the board of the MGT Group that was one of the primary investors in Zoopla.
Yeah.
So I have very direct connections, and I know that whole management team very well. So I can provide you with connections into Zoopla, but you're not ready to go connect into Zoopla yet. Without that validation, I will not be able to make a Zoopla deal happen. I will be able to make a Zoopla deal happen once we have some validation.
Okay, I understand. Quick question.
Right, so I think the first order of business for you, Claudia, right now is to get that critical mass of early validation going.
Yeah.
And once that happens, a lot of the other pieces of the domino are going to start knocking over.
That's great. How many do you think it's a critical mass? How many are,
How many is a critical mass? What do you plan to charge these people?
Okay. You mean when you are working, when it's like the platform is up and running?
Yes. In steady state, what is your goal to charge these people?
We were thinking to charge 20 pounds, 20 pounds only for the marketplace, because you can use them in two ways. We can use, some people can use just the marketplace, £20 a month, or for 40, they can use the marketplace and the platform. So,
ooh, this sounds like a very low price point. Given the kind of workflow that you are suggesting, you're going to do document management and stuff like that, and full workflow management for these kinds of transactions. That sounds like a very low price point for the real estate industry.
okay, so
you need to validate. You need to do some pricing signal testing. We have, in the 1 million by 1 million program, we teach all of these things. I will explain to you how to use the program in a moment, but my immediate sense, just listening to you, is that your price signal is sounding very low to me, given the value that you potentially bring to the table. Okay. Now, that could be the discounted price to get a bunch of people in and all that, but the steady state price, I think this is sounding very low to me. That's point number one. So you need to do the proper due diligence analysis on pricing to determine what that price point is. And that's something we can teach you how to do. The second thing that you should pay attention to is, let's say you bring a professional on, and you have to decide which class of professionals do you want to bring on first. How many clients are they going to bring in? Are each of them going to bring in? And I would advise you to pick the category of professionals that are likely to bring in the most number of clients. And as a result, you can bring an ecosystem around them, right? So the architects they're going to be using, the engineers they're going to be using, et cetera. Maybe it's I don't know. You have to tell me what is the category, what is the class of clients that you want to bring in as the first class of clients that is going to give you the maximum leverage.
It's going to be the state agents more likely, because the state agents, if you hire, if basically because this is why I'm in touch with them and they're willing to use it. I built the flow for the state agent based on their requirements. So I'm sure that they can use it. Each estate agent. Sorry?
Did you say real estate agents?
Estate agent. Every big company of estate agents brings in at least, let's say, 20, 30, it's a minimum, like it's a Savills, or we are working with Corbo Kelos. They have tons of transactions. And you have built in the platform an API to basically bring in the properties which have been already inserted in their own software to Relai automatically. So they don't have to do much work to switch to Relai. So we think that the estate agent will be the first people who are basically very easy to bring in more clients and customers. Yeah. At the same time, RICS, I think, is the first professional body that is going to give me quite at least a bit of recognition, because we are a partner with them. So I think the first thing that I should do is these two type of customers.
Yeah, go try to find a bunch of customers who are willing to start working with you. And at that point, the price doesn't matter very much, as long as they're willing. They kind of give you a signal of what they would be willing to pay when the product is ready. Right now, you want them to come in as beta customers. If you can get a bunch of beta customers in, bringing in their clients, you have a marketplace starting to take shape. And that will help you tremendously in raising money.
Okay, that's a good, that's it. I treasure this.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else do you want to show me?
Well, because we have a potential investor who is interested in Relai. I mean, we met in through connection, so I don't know how much he's interested in or not. But we have a meeting this evening. So I was wondering if I have to give evaluation of the company now, or if, let's say, how much.
You don't have to give any valuation of the company. Entrepreneur does not set the valuation of the company. Valuation of the company is set by investors. So you don't need to worry about that. If he's serious about investing, he's going to give you a term sheet that will have a valuation. You don't determine valuation. This is one thing that all of you who are listening to this conversation should know. You don't need to worry about valuation. You have no say on valuation. You can negotiate valuation, but at the moment, when you start a relationship with an investor, you don't need to have a valuation conversation.
And how much equity should I be willing to give away? At the moment, we own the entire company, me and my co-founder, but how much we should be willing to give?
At your stage of the business, the best mode in which to raise money is convertible debt or SAFE, which is all, debt financing. There is no valuation. There's going to be a cap on the valuation in which you can raise your first round of financing, first equity round of financing. But given the stage you're in, the best mode to raise money, seed capital, pre-seed capital, is in debt format.
It's really not clear to me. Can you send maybe some resources that I can have a look, because it's not really clear to me what you mean.
Look up convertible debt.
Convertible debt, yeah.
And look up SAFE, S-A-F-E.
Sorry?
S as in Sam, A America, F France, E England. SAFE notes.
Okay.
Look up these two terms on Google and it will be clear.
Okay, that's perfect. I understand. Thank you.
Okay. So, but be realistic about how much an investor is going to be serious about it right now. Because, eventually marketplaces actually end up costing a lot of money to build. Because marketplaces don't scale for a while, right? They kind of scale, check a little bit, and then they hit an inflection point where the marketplace effect takes over, and that's when big things happen. But that period when it's slowly moving and kind of building the network effect tends to be long. And that's the period where you consume capital. So people who are looking to build marketplaces always look for ways to mitigate that capital requirement. And this strategy that we just discussed of SaaS-enabled marketplaces where you can charge a subscription fee. See, a lot of marketplaces do not have a subscription opportunity in the beginning. They're just trying to make transactions happen, and the entire marketplace business model is predicated on transaction fees. In your case, we're talking about subscription and transaction working in tandem. And that is, from an investor viewpoint, it's a very attractive strategy because it gives you an opportunity to build a SaaS business early on, gradually, and use that to kind of mitigate the capital requirements of the marketplace until the marketplace is ready to fully take off based on a network effect that SaaS business is creating as you go along. So it's a very, very important advantage that you have. When you talk to your investor prospect tonight, you should emphasize this factor.
Yeah.
Okay? So everything we talked about here today, your number one takeaway is that when you pitch to investors tonight, you should say that we do not have yet the beta customers, but what we have in this business model is a built-in strategy of bringing on these beta customers who are going to bring on their clients, and we're going to start charging and building a subscription business, and that will mitigate the capital requirements of our marketplace business until the marketplace network effect takes off. So get this pitch ready to tell your investor really sharply tonight.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much for your advice and guidance.
All right. Okay. So is there any other question that you want to ask me, Claudia?
Oh, well, it's about the technology. At the moment, what we are building is basically a version, very basic version of the project. The platform can work. There is no very sophisticated technology behind. It's a marketplace, and the workflow tool to make it work. It's about the process, but it's not much about the technology. Because I am I'm doing a PhD in blockchain because I like this stuff, to understand what is the next frontier, because I think that in the next few years there is a disruption which is coming in the real estate market, because it's extremely primitive. It's low, it's a kind of elephant. And I think that from blockchain, something interesting will come in. This is why we are trying to bring in element of blockchain bit by bit. So in the next phase, if you have an investor, basically want to start building some elements of blockchain to basically store the data, which it doesn't require a change in regulations. It's just the way we store the data, so it can be done. In future, of course, we are planning to introduce the entire blockchain and maybe smart contract that basically is the way not to automatically basically link the blockchain and the execution of a contract. So there is no waste of time. I was wondering how much should I kind of push this with an investor? Are they interested in this, or they want to understand?
I think you should push it. You should push it as your vision. You can talk about phase one as your MVP, and then as you get more resources, funding, and so forth, to build a really defensible technology core, because there is an opportunity to build this with a blockchain-enabled smart contract solution and create something very defensible, because long-term, you want this defensibility. You want to own this marketplace, right? Anybody who has been, these kinds of businesses, the kind of business that you're trying to build, these are winner-takes-all businesses. So either you're going to win this market, or somebody else is going to win this market. Multiple marketplaces in one market don't succeed. Either you're going to be the winner or you're not going to be the winner. You're not going to be a middle somewhere. So you want to make sure that you are the winner, and you're the defensible winner. You want to create as much distance between yourself and the other players who are trying to compete for this, this particular pot of gold, let's call it. So yes, I think you should definitely show the vision, that you understand that there is this opportunity to build something technologically deep here, and you want to do that in this business, and you want to win the category.
Yeah, that's fine. The last question: Do you think this is because you have already answered the question by Ted told me basically to go and look these convertible debts and save? Do you think we should apply to an accelerator, or do you think that we should simply go on as we are doing now?
So there are two reasons why people apply to accelerators. One is to learn, and two is to raise money. So if you want to learn,
good,
you can join 1 million by 1 million, and we will teach you what you need to learn. If you're trying to raise money, we can help you raise money, because we work with hundreds of investors, and we will introduce you to investors. But we will not give you, as part of joining this accelerator, you're not going to get what, for example, a Y Combinator would give you, which is $120,000 of seed funding. That we will not be able to give you. You're going to have to go through a funding round through us to be able to raise money. Joining the accelerator will not give you that. Now, you have to qualify to get into an accelerator that is going to give you money, and they have, typically those accelerators have timelines. So you have to work according to their timeline, and you have to get into an accelerator. Y Combinator, for instance, we had the president of Y Combinator, Jeff Ralston, who is a friend of mine, here recently, and I was teasing him, Jeff, you have 97% rejection rate, and we have 0% rejection rate. And Jeff laughed, and he said, we have 98% rejection rate. So it's like, where you go, how you play your cards. So one thing that we do very well is we can prepare you to win those accelerator challenges also.
Great, yeah.
So you could use 1 million by 1 million to not only do your own funding round through us, but also you can apply to other accelerators, and you'll be in a much stronger place.
Would be great. Yeah, okay. Maybe. Yeah, I'm sure that if I send an email, someone will tell me how to join and what I need to do.
Yeah, you can just go on the website and join, and I will give you a contact shortly. So just why don't you hold on the rest of your questions? Let me explain how to use 1 million by 1 million to everybody in the room, and then we can go back to Q&A. We have time today, so.
Okay, that's great.
Let me just check with Daniel. Has Daniel made it? Daniel is in Indonesia. I don't see Daniel in the room, so I guess Daniel is going to have to come back. Daniel hasn't made it. Okay. So we are going to go to the conversation on how to use 1 million by 1 million. So folks, if you like what we do here, refer serious entrepreneurs to 1 million by 1 million. That is my ask from you. If you like it, let people know about it. So everything is at 1Mby1M.com. The website is very comprehensive and very, very easy to understand, I think. On the free resources, you do have a terrific blog to follow, and a lot of people do follow it and learn a lot from it. The Entrepreneur Journeys book series, we have 12 volumes of case study-based books, and these are available from Amazon digitally, so it will be very easy, available on a click. These roundtables happen every week. So now we're going into the fall. There is no gap in roundtables for the foreseeable future. If you are looking for a slot to pitch, please let Maureen know. Go register on the website on the free roundtable page, and you will have a slot to pitch in one of the upcoming sessions. Note, we only permit one free pitch. If you want to talk to me on a regular basis, join the premium program. That is our full acceleration program. We give you full methodology guidance. You can come talk to me every week. We have a full curriculum. So we talked earlier about pricing. We have a whole curriculum module on pricing that you can rapidly learn from and apply immediately. So this is a very pragmatic program designed for entrepreneurs who are working on a project and need to quickly learn things. We do help you with business development. Like I said, in Claudia's case, I talked about Zoopla. Well, yes, I have contacts into Zoopla. I'll be happy to help you get into Zoopla. These kinds of things, whether it's potential customers, potential channel partners, all of that, we connect all dots that is within our power to connect. And the mode in which you saw today's interaction is our strategy consulting mode. Whether you call it strategy consulting, mentoring, coaching, whatever, but it's basically strategizing together on how to get forward, move forward. And then we work with hundreds of investors, literally hundreds of investors around the world to help you with financing. And we stress heavily on the point of not just product market fit, but investor entrepreneur fit. If you want to raise money, you have to achieve investor entrepreneur fit. And that is a complex concept in itself, which you have to understand. And I'll give you some tools on how to understand that if you want to, work on that offline as well. We have a lot of clout in the media as well. So we also help you get the word out there. So the self-assessment on the website is a free tool. These are the due diligence questions that investors are going to ask you. You please make sure that you can answer these questions vis-a-vis your business. If you get stuck, you need to learn the points that you are missing. Let me give you some learning materials. In the premium program, you have access to the entire 1 million by 1 million curriculum. So that comes with the full acceleration program. But there are also bits and pieces of other ways that you can learn. So our bootstrapping course is a free 1-hour course. You can start there. It's a very comprehensive course. It's been very popular. Hundreds of thousands of people have taken this course. Actually, LinkedIn commissioned this course originally, and they offer it on their website. So you can definitely take that course. We have this summer released already 27 courses based on the 1 million by 1 million methodology on Udemy. These are very reasonably priced courses. And there's a whole section of courses, I think there's a dozen courses on how investors think. This will give you a comprehensive understanding of investor entrepreneur fit, what you need to do to get to investor entrepreneur fit. And if you're trying to raise money, I strongly recommend that you please, please, please study this stuff. Otherwise, We have to do too much of, you know, if you don't come with an understanding of investor entrepreneur fit by studying some of this material, there's a lot of catching up that we're going to have to do before we send you into investor conversations. We don't want you to go and trip in front of investors, because you don't get repeat meetings with investors. You get one meeting and then you have to wait a year before you get another meeting with the same investor. It's a valuable cartridge that you cannot blow. You have to use that cartridge appropriately. Maureen, could you please provide this link in the public chat so that everyone who is interested can bookmark it? Another way to access learning very easily is 1M Basic. That is a subscription program, $99 a month. You can access the entire 1M curriculum for $99 a month. That is also a possible opportunity. Everything in our curriculum is available. What is not available in 1M Basic is ongoing mentoring. So you cannot meet with me every week. You can come to these free roundtables, but in terms of actually, repeated pitches in the private roundtables, that is not part of Basic. That's part of Premium. Okay, so the website describes all of this stuff. I think I've given you enough of an overview. Now you can navigate the website and fill in the gaps of where your questions are, what to expect from Premium, what to expect from Basic, videos, FAQs, etc. The curriculum is fully described in detail. It is a case study-based curriculum. We have thousands, actually, of successful entrepreneur case studies. We have video lectures, we have video interviews, we have audio interviews, we have all kinds of interactive investor conversations, entrepreneur conversations. It's fully case study based. Everything we teach has been tested by some entrepreneur somewhere who has come back and shared that. Because we have a terrific network, this is one of the biggest Rolodexes in the industry that you will have access to if you decide to join 1M1M. We can bring you into so many different case studies, so many different relationships. The investor introduction page on the website explains our policy for investor introduction. This is a bootstrap first, raise money later methodology because that's how the industry operates. Most investors want validated companies, and we are just responding to that state of the union. We are not inventing anything. We are just trying to improve your probability of fundraising. And as I said, we have a lot of clout in the media. We provide a lot of coverage for our premium members. Upcoming free roundtables every week. Next week, we have a special session. We are launching the DataStax 1M Startup Accelerator Challenge. So developers who are developing ventures on top of the Cassandra stack, the DataStax technologies, that's who are going to qualify for that challenge. So we're going to do the kickoff event of that one, and we're going to have pitches from developers who are developing on that stack, and we're going to have the CEO and Chief Product Officer of DataStax as our guests next session. So that will be a really interesting session. Please come if you're from that community. That is all for today. We can do Q&A. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. You can dial in. You can turn on in your computer audio, whatever works for you. You're welcome to ask questions, and you can also type in your questions in the public chat. In the meantime, Claudia, you asked for an email address, irina@1mby1m.com. Any questions about the program, how to join, etc., contact Irina. She will take you through, but the website also is very, very easy to navigate. Anybody else? Any questions, comments? Introductions, please feel free also to introduce yourselves and tell us where you're joining from, what you're up to, what your project is, what brings you here. Claudia, any other questions before we adjourn?
Sorry, I was trying to type. We are getting these slides, right? So we are. I don't need to take a screenshot.
No, you're going to have a recording of this available.
Okay. Is there now that I understand what you told me about the convertible debts and safe, is there any point in me asking, because I was reading about the cap table and how to present, which document we need to present to investor, is it something that in your mind I should be worried about at the moment, or I should simply focus on getting clients and customers to the platform and think about it later?
I suggest you focus on getting clients above everything else. The one learning that I would recommend you do, in fact, open up this link that Maureen has put on your screen in the public chat, the Udemy courses based on 1M Accelerator. And I'm going to tell you exactly where to go to fill up some of the gaps.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm here. Yeah. And
you have it?
Yeah.
Okay, so in there, look at the how investors think section. It may be worthwhile for you to, very quickly learn this stuff. It would be very helpful for you to have this understanding under your belt before you go out to raise money.
Yeah.
So customers is your number one priority. I would say learning some stuff about strategy, both customer strategy as well as investor strategy are important. So the investor strategy, I would point you to this material that you can very quickly, very efficiently absorb. And there's one other pointer I'm going to give you. So scroll down to domain-specific case studies and startup ideas. There is there's building a two-sided e-commerce marketplace with Shramana Mitra. Do that one.
Yeah, got it.
And that's, for the moment, chasing customers is your number one priority. Learning a few things that are immediately important are good, are going to be helpful. Pricing, remember you have to worry about pricing.
Yeah.
Now that we have not released our customer acquisition and positioning stuff as Udemy courses, at least not yet. We just started doing this summer. So that is only available through 1M Basics.
Okay, I understand.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Any other questions? Last call before we adjourn. All right, folks, good luck with everything, and keep learning, keep moving forward, keep chasing customers. Always chase customers before investors.
Yeah. Can I ask the last question very quickly, just that it came to my mind 1 second. Do I have 3 seconds? I'm going to be very quick.
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
So at the moment, basically, obviously, I'm working full time on this, but my co-founder and the other people are not, because we cannot starve to death. So someone needs to work. Yeah. So how do you think that we will deal with this? We are going to be asked everyone to leave the job as soon as we get an investment. How does it work with investors? Do they allow someone to work for someone else as well, or not at all?
So very good question. There is a course in that series that we have released, because this is a question we get all the time. It's called Bootstrapping with a Paycheck.
Okay.
So this is exactly what your co-founders are doing. One of you have quit and doing this full time. The others are working. So we have a lot of case studies. This is something that we support extensively in 1Mby1M. Most accelerators will not let you do that. They will want you to commit full time. Almost no accelerator will let you do that. We will let you do that. So that's another big fact that we have learned from the industry, that a lot of entrepreneurs have succeeded by bootstrapping with a paycheck, and we want to support that mode of business building until you're ready to quit full-time, quit and go full-time, right? If you're ready to do that, but 3 people quitting means 3 livelihoods have to be supported.
Families.
This is not a joke. So we understand that it is a lot of work. Entrepreneurship, as you can see, is a lot of work. So obviously all of you are having to work a lot, and the ones who are doing 2 jobs are having to work a lot. But that's, that also keeps some of the income coming into the process, and that keeps the livelihoods going. So we fully acknowledge, we understand this, we acknowledge this, we accept this. So it's fine with us.
Okay, I understand. Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. All right. Well, take care, everybody. Good luck. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you very much. Thank you again.